Hello, and welcome to Breakthrough Together podcast episode 4. And today's topic is how do we move on from loss? And this is, although it might sound like a negative topic, it could end up being a very positive, empowering topic, I think. So would you like to begin, Linda? I know this is a topic that Linda came up with specifically that's, I think, pretty relevant and pretty good thing to talk about right now.
I think so. Thank you, Cherise. Yes, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us for our 4th podcast. And loss, how do we deal with loss? How do we move on and get over it? I think for one thing, loss of any kind, especially when it's a loved one or someone personal, close to us, like if you lost them to passing away to death, that's something that we never ever get over, but we learn to adjust and accept it and continue on with moving on from it. Losses of other nature, it's not that we can at least build from that even more and continue onward. A lot of times we can expand the growth from it. It's like an impetus, actually, nourishment for a planting of growing. So we can create so much from that. Both losses we can, but I think the other type, when it's loss of maybe financial loss of a career, that kind of way, I think we can at least use that more of a natural stepping stone. But all losses is loss. All is a big hit to the heart, to the mind, body, and spirit. I know when I lost my husband, it's going to be 5 years in July. Yes, he was ill, but he actually passed away from a car accident, which made it earlier. And when that happened, it was unexpected. So that was, it took me actually almost 3 years. I was doing well, but I was just working and doing things automatically. Having family and loved ones around really helped me, but I was still in such a daze in automatic motion. I did not realize that till about 3 years later, when I woke up one morning. I just woke up like every day, waking up, and I just could see things clearly. I could hear and see and feel things clearly, and I just felt like I just awakened from a deep sleep. And it was just so surprising to think it took about 3 years for me to get to that point. But the benefit of that is because my body was in automatic motion, mind, body, and spirit, I was able to swallow it piece by piece and process it and digest it. Where when I got up, I wasn't, hysterically in tears and shaking with emotions. I just got up and I felt like, okay, what do I want for my life now? What is it that I want and what will make me happy? And so from that moment, I've been kind of like on that quest now, planting, exploring, even a lot of times just sitting, because that's part of the thinking process too, and processing, trying to figure out what is it that I want. And because I'm not used to that just by myself, I had a mate, and then how do I go about it? What will make me happy? And so I tell you, I don't know if you know this, but just the other day I woke up and I thought, you know what? It'd be nice to have a friend. It would be nice to have a friend just for me, and then I could be a friend to that person.
Because I know people try to push that on you, when you have a loss of a spouse. So, but yeah, because it's a transformation that you make, I think.
That's right.
And I think with all loss, there's a transformation. There's a theory, I would call it, I guess, an astrological point of view that the energy of loss always creates a transformation.
Yes.
So whatever's happening when the loss happens, you are going to evolve and transform in some kind of way. So everything is always moving. It's not, because I think sometimes when people have a loss, they think that's it, it's over.
Yeah.
And there's an end, like there's a finish line. But really there's no finish line in life. It's more, instead of how people say linear versus cyclical,
Mhm.
it's more like a circular thing, not from
That's right.
start to finish, straight line, linear. So there's always a transformation. So you go through your stages and everything, and now you're ready to invite, another person in that can share your soul with you.
That's
It's always because it just continues on and on.
exactly.
So it's not, that's it. It's lost and that's it. There's no more.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's not a straight line. It is a circular kind of line. And
Yeah.
it's amazing because it's like the trees, those ringlets, rings
Mhm.
and rings, and we keep going. And some of the things we even were past that we passed in the before, but it's still a different experience because nothing, like you said, nothing stays the same. Everything is always in motion. Everything is
Mhm.
always moving and evolving. And that's where you're right. A lot of times we think it's a finish line, but it's not. Always, as long as you're alive and you're breathing, it's always, life is evolving. We're always growing. We're always going to be experiencing things. But the greatness of it all is, what do we want to make out of it? What do we want to
Yeah.
create? What do we want to participate? And that's where dealing with losses is really, it's the whole mindset. What kind of mindset do you have at that time? Because if you look at it as something heavy and grieving and where it's like, yeah, that's the end,
Yeah.
you're gonna create that mindset and you're gonna put out that kind of energy and you're gonna attract that. But if you look at, okay, this is a loss. I've lost all this, and I've gone through it. I've lost my home. I've lost financially. I've lost my health. I've lost my husband, and before him, I've lost loved ones too. We've all experienced losses, but the mindset from that point, no, I don't have all the answers at those time. I don't know what I'm going to do. We did have some plans, but when you're dealing with that moment, things are different. So when that happened, I looked at it like, okay, what is it that I do from this point for Linda? What is it that Linda has to do, for her life? Because my life goes on, my children, my
Yeah.
family. But most of all, I'm responsible for my life. And, I want to enjoy life. I want to have fun. I want to laugh,
Certainly.
you know? And so that's where loss really is a wonderful opportunity of a new adventure, a new chapter, sometimes a whole new book, whatever we want to create. And the benefit of that is we can put anything on it, like that blank canvas, and that's where I'm at. And this is so much fun because right now I'm at the point where I'm looking for work, haven't gone out to work where I have to work. This is a whole new adventure for me. And then also too, letting someone in my environment, to laugh and have fun with.
Mhm. Well, I know when I haven't had too much loss from death,
Mhm.
other than my grandparents, and some very important friends, a couple of very important friends, and a cousin, a few cousins, very important cousin. But I think about when you mentioned health,
Yes.
I lost my health for a while in my 30s and 40s, really, a very long-term situation. And I remember when I first found out that when I first realized that my condition was going to probably be chronic
Hmm.
and last for a while, because I didn't know what was wrong with me. So then when I found out and I said, oh, this might last a while, this is going to be a situation of trying to figure out how to fix this. And we don't have an answer yet. I thought, and I was 30, I think I was 31. And so I was looking at it like everything's gone. I said I was damaged goods. I said my youth was gone. I thought everything stopped there. Like it's all gone. My youth, especially my youth. I'm ill. My youth is gone. And I'm going to be dealing with this for a while. And I don't know when it's going to end. And I don't know how bad it's going to get. So that was a real, that was tough because my mindset at that time was, well, I missed the boat. There's all this stuff that I can do in the prime of my life and I can't do it. So I missed the boat. But now that it's been so many years later, I look back and I realize as I said before, it was like a transformation. I'm a totally different person now. And in a good way, like there's so much more that I know and I'm so much wiser. And I'm empowered about my health because I know more than a lot of doctors know now about my body, and I can take care of myself. It was very empowering because I spent so much time trying to find out what was wrong with me and I didn't know. And so I had to take control of my own health. And that really built up my character, strength, the strength of my mind, my willpower, all of that, So, and I thought that was a tremendous loss. I thought I had lost my youth way before I was older, So yeah.
You know what? So
it was a good thing in the end.
Yeah. It ended up really, and look at what you've been creating, how beautifully you've been creating, right? And all the opportunities that you've been giving yourself because of what you've been creating, Once we change that mindset, and we realize, wait a moment, I have control over this. This is my life,
Exactly.
So what is it that I want here? Because the thing about it is, no matter what losses we go through, what we experience, and sometimes it seems like one after another and another and another, it's like, else can I lose? You know what? We always have ourselves, and we always, it's just like that saying goes, the ground that we fall down on is the same ground that we push ourselves back up.
Yeah.
And that is where we're still alive. We're still living. So what is it that we want to create and make to become happy, or whatever it is that we desire or need? That is where we have to develop that mindset. Okay. The benefit of this is, and the beauty of it is, basically the slate is clean. It's empty. Because of that, that's a wonderful opportunity when it's empty, because you can fill and put whatever you want on that. Yes, it will take fortitude, it will take, concentration, it will take work, it will take a lot of time, but it's not as heavy and arduous as we think. It's really very, very exhilarating. And it's amazing as we continue on this path, how much we grow and develop, and things that we never even thought that we could accomplish or wanted or capable of, or would bring us joy and fulfillment. Those things all come into play too, because when we're out there working and going, it's amazing how we open our life to the universe. Totally, our energy, our spirit just goes everywhere. There's no limitations, there's no restraints. So really, the loss, you can kind of look at it as restraints, really.
Yeah, it's like a little prison that you put yourself in, because you see, I think it's because we're conditioned in this society to think of loss as a negative thing, but really all it is change. It's just change. And it a lot of times change is rough because you get so used to the status quo. But change that's like a universal law. Do you know what I mean?
That's
right. Change is constant. You're never going to get away from that.
That's right.
So, and I think we've just been conditioned, like you look for that one place that is happy, the happy land.
That's right.
I want to be there in that one spot of happy land and then never have to move out of that spot.
Exactly.
But that's just not how things work. I mean, things are always going to change and evolve, period. I mean, you look at us from growing from babies to old age, it's constant. There's nothing we can do, about it.
Yeah. And, also with that, I think it's also the expectations of others, because like you said, we've been so conditioned. Part of that conditioning is others' expectations, how society has put on all these boundaries and
Mhm.
uh, they have like almost rigidly, like going to school, all the pathways that we're supposed to follow and do. And if we
Yeah.
do not do that, we condition ourselves, then we're messing up. We're doing wrong. We're not. We are all individual spirits. We are all individual souls. Remember, we're in a body. Yes, we are human beings. This is a body, but we're spiritual beings in a human body. We have to remind ourselves, it's not a human body in the spiritualness. No, we are human beings, okay? As spiritual beings in a human body. That is who we
We are
are.
the spirit
So
in the machine.
because
We are
exactly,
operating. Some people use the
yeah,
analogy of being
yeah.
behind the wheel,
Yes,
you know.
yes,
So we're
exactly.
behind the wheel. Our
Mhm.
body is the car, and
That's
we,
right.
our consciousness and
That's right.
is behind the wheel. So we can do. There's a funny Eddie Murphy skit from uh, Saturday Night Live from many years ago, and he's talking about it was a commentary on our expectations on people in society.
Mm-hmm.
So he was talking about, I never went to college, and this isn't a put down of college. I mean, he's just saying that was the road he chose. And I
Mm-hmm.
guess people would say, well, you can't do that. You're not going to succeed. You gotta go to college, right? And he says, I never went to college. Then he steps out of a car and it's a limousine. And he turns to the driver and he says, this is my driver, whatever his name is. He went to college. So he's making the point like,
That's
I didn't
right.
have to go to college to succeed.
Yeah,
That wasn't my path. And I
exactly.
was successful. And I'm getting out of a limousine and my driver happened to go to college, right? But it was a great commentary on how we box people in society. And, it's like, you have to do this, you have to do that in this order and all that. And we're all like, really, we're all free spirits. We are
Yeah,
spirits.
that's right.
So, and we're here for a purpose. So whatever your purpose is, you might go diagonal and somebody else goes up and whatever. You're just going in different directions
That's right.
because what you got to really kind of feel, what am I here? Who am I? And what am I here to do? And what am I here to contribute?
That's right.
And remember that you still, even if you have lost, you still matter. Because when I was sick,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think I mean, I really went through a period where I thought I called myself damaged goods, honestly, Linda. I didn't think I mattered anymore. I was like, I'm
Yeah,
damaged.
yeah,
I
you've
can't
done.
do anything. And no, you still have value and you have a reason to be here and something to contribute.
Mm-hmm.
And those limitations in society are just,
Mm-hmm.
they're imposed on
Wow.
us.
That is so true. Society has put so much emphasis that if there's something wrong with us and we're not doing the norm, what is considered the norm, then we
Yeah,
are damaged goods. We're throwaways, and what the value is much lesser. And that's the whole problem we're having in our country and in the world right now, because some people have always been criticized and taught that they have no value, where we're
yeah,
all the same, we're all the same. And the beauty of right now, I think the greatest beauty right now is we're all, like how we said before, we're on the same page, we're all being affected. That's what COVID again is our reflection, because we have created COVID. And that energy has masterized as COVID-19. And because of that, we have been made to reset. We're at reset, which
yeah,
is good, but that's our benefit too, because remember, we created all this. So we have all put ourselves, every single person in this world, on reset button. So we're all at the
yes,
same starting line, if society wants to look at that. We're all at that point. And now, here it is, we all have the opportunity to now create what it is that we want to create, clean up, let go of the losses, understand the losses, and then create whatever our purpose is, whatever we want to do, as we are, the spiritual beings that we are in this body that we have. And, really continue on that expedition, of who
Yeah.
we are, what it is that we want to do, what is our purpose, what is it that we want to do and give, because we all have a purpose, we all have meaning, we all have a mission here. I think that's what I love about our Buddhist practice. Buddhism teaches that we all have value, we are all
Yeah.
equal.
Every
you
single
know
person, and we have equal value.
Exactly. And
So
and no one can
there's,
do what each of us can do.
Mhm.
And so and I think that's so wonderful. And it's always from this moment on. And that's where we're at. And women especially now, we are now at that point. And I know they were talking about the birth rate now is going down more and more, where women aren't having as many children. So a lot of them are not even having, which is okay. It's okay, because we
Mhm.
have so many people in this world, and women, I think, are now, they're doing what they feel their purpose is. And if they choose to have kids or whatever, or when, that's their plans.
Yeah.
But we're all nurturers. We all give. We all, tend to each other. That's one
Yeah,
beauty
and
about
that's
women.
an evolution in
That's
itself
right. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that's another
Mhm.
compartmentalized thing
Yes.
where you have to, if you're a woman, you have to do this. If you're a man,
Yeah.
you have to do this. And no, because we're
Yeah.
all,
That's
at
right.
the end of the day, we're all individual
Hmm.
people.
Yeah.
So I always, speak of us as people, and we have
Yes.
a gender,
Yes.
and you have a certain nature. A lot of times you will have a certain nature that leans this way or that way
Hmm.
because of your gender, but
Yes.
everybody is completely different. So someone is extremely nurturing, the other person might not
Hmm.
be, somebody, whatever. And it's okay just to be who you are.
Hmm.
And I think that's a big, like you said, with the children, because women are finally just discovering, well, maybe that's not what I want to do, and I don't have to do that. Whereas there was so much pressure before to do that. And we're just finding ourselves, there's so much more, we're so much broader
Yes.
that we're not one dimensional. We're not one dimensional. We have so many dimensions. But I don't know. I don't know. I think it's fear that when society imposes that on you, that you have to be a certain way because you're a woman or because you're Black or, because you're young or because you're old, even the ageism. Because
Yes.
now that I'm getting older, I still have goals and aspirations. And they're just as strong as they were when I was younger, and they still excite me
Hmm.
like they did when I was younger.
Hmm.
Um, so you
Yeah.
that's what keeps you alive.
That's right.
That keeps your spirit going. And but people will tell you. I mean, I've been laughed at.
Hmm.
you know, I have this particular aspiration. What? Well, how
Yeah.
old are you again? You
Yeah.
know,
Well, you
so
notice whenever these conditions are put on society or any kind of people, regardless if it's because of race, which we're experiencing right now, as well as gender. A lot of it, when you listen and pay attention, observe who is doing the suppression here. Who is trying to implement their views and ideas, and if this is
who's
right or
in
wrong, or what
fear?
another human being. First of all, if you look at it, it's the same people. It's the same people that has always seemed to be doing this. And also, too, not only is it the same people that are doing it, and then when they do it with force. They do it with hatred. They do it with the lower worlds, very animalistic,
Mhm.
and very no ears. It's almost like they have no eyes too, because they have no ears. They do not hear. They do not listen. There's no dialogue. It's just one-sided of them. And the thing about it is, though, you're right. It is fear, greed, all these lower worlds.
But
Um,
they were taught that fear.
yeah,
So it's handed
they were
down
fed
from
that.
generation, blah, blah,
This
blah,
is
blah,
what they
blah,
were
blah, blah.
fed, exactly. But
Yeah.
and the problem with that is, unfortunately, many of them did not stand up and speak and question. And so here we are. But the point is, it's
Because
still
they're
a
not
life
thinking for
condition. Life
themselves.
engine. Exactly. It's the lower worlds that they pass on through themselves. And now, today, if you look at who they suppress, these people, all of us who are being suppressed, women, people of color, um, uh, gender-wise, one thing we all have in common, we are thinking, we are listening,
Yeah.
we are dialoguing. We're not perfect. We're not perfect. We have to grow too. But we are still doing some kind of dialoguing. We are doing listening, some kind of listening. We are interacting. We're developing. We're trying to develop and trying to grow with each other as well as oneself, you know? And
Well, I
that,
think it's
when you interact, there's no way you can be stagnated in the lower worlds. You will come out of it. But as long
well,
as you
it's like a
stay,
mind control. You know what I mean?
exactly,
It's like
that's what it is.
because
Exactly.
it,
You're
it's
in that, just
and
totally in that spot.
you're not thinking for yourself. And I
Mhm.
think because we're not really taught, I don't honestly, I mean, from birth, really, we're
Mhm.
really not taught to think for ourselves.
No,
We're taught to have somebody else do the thinking for us
that's
and to tell us and program us uh, to do certain things and to
yes,
think a certain way and to believe this or to believe that. Because so many people, if you listen and have conversations with people, I catch myself too. You'll have a
yes,
conversation with someone and they'll say something like, well, I was brought up to believe blah, blah, blah. And then I stop myself when I say that now.
yes.
I go, wait, oh yeah, I was brought up that way, but who am I and do I believe that? You know, and we all do it because it's just a program that's running like it's a
Of course.
program in our mind.
Mhm.
And I was brought up that way. Well, wait, doesn't mean that it doesn't mean it's right for you. It
Yes.
means, you know, I'm not saying it's wrong. Wrong and right is kind of it's a gray area depending on who you are. So it may not be right for you. Stop. Yeah, you were brought up that way, but give it some thought. Think for yourself. Go
Yes.
read a book. Go check out some YouTube videos of people who might be talking about this subject. What do you really think? Get
That's
information from different sources and different directions and places, and then formulate. Look, I'm different than everybody in my family, almost everybody, right? And I'm okay with it now. Where when I was younger, there was a part of me that really wanted to fit in because I wanted the connection with everybody, you know, until I realized, no,
yes.
I'm put here to be Cherise and to be this way,
Yes.
to accomplish this, to contribute that. And but I really wanted that connection because we want that human connection and we want to be in the tribe. We want to be in the tribe. So I realize, you know, I am who I am and it's okay. There's 7 billion people on this planet. No two fingerprints, what they say, no two fingerprints are alike.
That's right.
We're not alike. Twins aren't totally alike. We are here individually to
Mhm.
contribute something.
Very true. Very true. You know, I really, despite all the challenges, all the unrest that we have right now and the problems that we have, I think still this is a wonderful opportunity where we've brought ourselves, because when have we all been on the same page worldwide? Yes,
Yeah.
we have so much to clean up that we have not cleaned up. There's so much truth in our
Yes.
country that has not been told. So much, reparations and so much that has to be done. But what a wonderful opportunity. We have the opportunity is the greatest gift we give ourselves. And we have the opportunity now. And no matter how we try to avoid it, we're going to keep coming back
Right.
because we cannot run away from our own truth,
We
our own
cannot.
steps. That is the beauty of it. We know that through Buddhism. We know that through life experiences, regardless who we are. We are always being brought back to that same spot till we face it, clean up our own mess, see our own selves in the mirror to know
Right.
what to clean up and take ownership. And that's so empowering.
You
But
know how they say wherever you
that's
go, there you are.
that's
So
right.
you
That's
you can
right.
try to run away.
That's right.
There's a beautiful
Exactly.
line in a song that I love. This is you can try to run, but you can't hide from what's inside of you.
Yes.
That's a line from a
Yeah.
song of a group I like. And it's
I
so
do know
true
the song. Yes.
because you can go, I'm moving. So you just feel so free when you go, oh, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna pack up and I'm gonna move. But once you get there, you just drag yourself with you. You have to always deal with you.
I think that is so true. Very good point. I know someone said this to me. One of my loved ones actually said to me, I want to be able to get up and go. I don't want any ownership because if I want to get up and go, I can just go. And I just, oh, because I thought, where is that person going? They cannot run away from it.
Running.
Exactly. It doesn't matter where we go, how far we travel, how light the luggage we carry.
Yes.
Your shadow is you,
You got to deal with you.
Exactly.
And it's fine. And once you do that, though, once you go to that dark place or wherever you're afraid to go, then you feel so much better. And I think I'm kind of there now. I'm getting there now where, oh my God, what was ever wrong with me, Linda? Nothing.
I know it's just so funny, but that's okay because that's part of the growth. That's part of the lesson. That's part of the acceptance, that we have to realize, if we cannot accept ourselves and embrace ourselves, all the flaws, all the beauty and everything, how can we accept anyone else? How can we turn around and have happiness with anyone else?
Right.
We're always going to be complaining and unhappy. There's no happiness if we do not have it within. It doesn't mean we're perfect. We're always going to have it, but it's just we're always going to be judgmental. We're always going to be dissatisfied.
Well, I'm understanding that now because I'm thinking, why am I so slow? But
oh, no, you're not. You're doing great. You're evolving beautifully. Are you kidding? No.
Well, I realized, I said, okay, how they say you can't love someone until you love yourself. Well, then one day it hit me. Oh, what they're trying to say is, I can't hand you this pen unless I have it in my hand. Do you see what I mean?
Yes. Yes, that's right.
Hand that to somebody else if you don't have it. So that's what that means. And I went, oh.
That's right. Also too, we as women, many of us have gone through heavy, painful experiences, really horrible things that we've experienced, a lot of times abuse, even rape. Many women, unfortunately, there's a lot of bonding because we've been rape victims, and there's a lot of pain there. There's a lot of because of how society has done what we weren't able to let that out and do healing there, at least now it's changing a little bit, but we were always looked upon as a victim. And I tell you, even those painful things I've been learning through my journey, because I've had experience. I've had horrible things like this that happened to me, to loved ones. And the thing about it is, what I've been learning is, even that, it doesn't mean that you're ever going to forget it. But what I can do from that is understand I'm a wonderful person. I did not deserve that. They did not deserve that. And you know what? I have so much value. I am so worthy of so much. I have so much to give, and I deserve the utmost of everything that I want,
Yeah. And we should probably do a show on that.
Yes. And that's why I would love to talk about this more. This is
violation.
Please,
violation, victimization.
There's some, even men, not just all women. And this is something that we can all think about and maybe write down some notes and things that maybe if you have questions or comments that you would like us to discuss here. But I think that's something because that has a lot that has not been taboo. We don't talk about, and there's so much pain and scars still that has not been able to heal.
Yeah, that's a good one to kind of vamp off of today because that's a form of loss.
Yeah. That is a very big form of loss.
I do want to say this has been a really, really good discussion. We've got 4 minutes before it cuts us off, y'all. So
I was seeing the time. I wanted to throw that in. I saw the time, and I want, because that's something that I know is meaningful to me and others that I talk with. So I thought, let me put this out because I look at the clock.
Yeah. We can do a really good show on that, I think, because that, like I say, is a form of loss, that it very much affects your sense of self. So would you like to say any words before we have about
I would just like to say thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. And I hope you enjoy the podcast. Please feel free to give us questions, comments, and please have a wonderful weekend. This is Juneteenth weekend, right? And enjoy your weekend and have a wonderful time and keep safe.
All right, everybody. If you enjoyed this podcast, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. Please tell your friends. And we will see you on the next episode, episode 5.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Shanice.
Thank you, Linda.
Bye-bye.